Hello everyone. Today we shall start the next topic in Unit 5, that is data structures, and in that we'll see what is a list. If you look at the content of the syllabus, it says that we have already covered the control flow, wherein we understood the meaning of conditional statements, the looping constructs, nesting of the loops, functions such as range, and keywords such as pass. Now in these data structures we are going to study list, tuple and dictionary. So let's get started with the list. Now list is of course like a string, but how does it differ? That is what we need to understand. In a string the values are characters. In a list they can be of any type. Meaning here the values in the list can be of integer type, it can be of string type, it can be of character type, it can be of floating or real value type, and so on. And hence list differs from a string as far as the context is concerned. Now the values in the list are also called as elements, or sometimes we call them as items. There are various examples given here, and every time you specify a list should be always indicated with a square bracket on either side, and in between you say that these are the items or the elements 10, 20, 30, 40. Of course all the elements are of the same type, homogeneous type. Similarly I have 1, 2, 3.3, and in between cat, mat and 5.5. Similarly I have apple, orange, banana, or I can have this list. So let's focus on the last list, wherein I can have a list within another list. That is, I can put another list that is called as a nested list, and the element of the list, that is the third fourth element of the list, is another list which is specified with a bracket. So this is also allowed. Now apart from that I can also have an empty list, and a list empty, meaning of an empty list is nothing. If you specify nothing in the square bracket, it means an empty list. So this can be given as, of course the names is a list with 3 elements here, this is with 2 elements but with a number type. An empty list is with nothing. Sometimes you want to initialize a variable to a nothing or empty list, you can make use of this syntax, empty equals to the square brackets with nothing in between, and you can print them subsequently, print names, comma, numbers, comma, empty. So you get this as the output, where all the 3 lists are printed, and of course the empty list is printed with nothing inside. Now with this, let us try to understand what is the meaning of a mutable. Now when I say mutable, this list can be altered or can be modified. Unlike strings, when you declare a string as in case of C program, directly you cannot alter them, with certain instances. But here we have a provision where you can modify the strings. Now unlike string, lists are mutable because the order of items in a list can be changed, or an item in a list can be reassigned. The syntax for accessing the elements of a list is the same as for accessing the characters of a string. Of course the syntax as far as is concerned will remain same that what we had used in case of strings. And you should remember one more thing, that just like in C, arrays start with 0, list also starts with 0. So here I have a list here, names equals to Ram, Rameses and Ramesh. It means that this item, the very first item, is at 0th index, and this is at 1, and this is at 2, and so on. So if I say print names, the list names, now I can print the list here saying print names of bracket 0, indicating that I want to print the first element of the list, which is indicated as 0th element, and then I would get Ram subsequently. Similarly, if I say names of 2, then I would get Ramesh, because this is at second index, or it is at the 3rd position. Now similarly I have the other operations here. For example, when the brackets operator appears on the left hand side of an assignment, it identifies the element of the list that will be assigned. Now moment I take anything on the left, for example let us say numbers equal to 22, 1941, but if I say numbers of 1 equals 2, that means I am trying to overwrite the second element, that is of course with the index 1, 0, 1 by 2. So when I try to print the numbers here, I would get it as 22, 2 instead of 22 comma 1941. So it would override that 1941. So this is how you can make understand that the lists are mutable or can be altered. Now let us understand how to map the elements. Now list has a relationship between the indices and the elements. Now whatever we are putting in the list, there is a relationship between index and an element, that you have already seen it. This relationship is called mapping, and each index maps to one of the elements. Now list index works the same way as string indexes. For example, if any integer expression can be used as an index, or if an element is read or written that does not exist, then index error is generated. Now the one is, an integer expression can be used as an index. For example, we saw the list of 0, list of 1. So that is nothing but indexing. And if any index is given, let us say for example in the previous case, if I say index number of numbers bracket 2, then the 2 does not exist. In that case, if I try to print it, then it will say an index error, or index error is generated. And if index has a negative value, it counts backward from the end of the list. So this is another important characteristic of a list that you need to understand. If I give an index as negative value, you do not confuse that it is an error. It is not an error, but it will try to count it from the count it backwards from the end of the list. So this is how a list can be mapped to the elements. Then apart from that, we can make use of different operators to work on the list. For example, the one of the operator, if you can remember, the keyword that was given to you earlier in the list is an in operator. It works on the list. For example, if I have this list names equal to Ram, Rameses and Ramesh, and if I say Rameses in names, that means I am trying to search whether my Rameses is present in the names, that is in, then I would get the output as true, indicating that Rameses is present in the list. Similarly, if I say Bob in names, Bob is not present, then I would get an output as false. That is, the output would be only in the form of Boolean value, that is true or false. So we can see this demonstration with the help of the editor itself. So we'll go and check it out how this really works with the code. So I have taken the same example that was shown to you in the slide. That is names equals Ram, then we have Rameses and Ramesh, and numbers equal to 2, 1941 and empty list. So how this is indicated with a list, that is a bracket is used here. Now if I say print all these three, that is names, comma, numbers. Now I am trying to display names, comma, numbers, comma, empty, and if I execute this, I would get here all the three things, that is as indicated here. The first list, the second list which is numbers, and the last is the empty one. Now if I want to display a specific list item, then I would say with an index, let us say names of bracket 1, then I am interested in displaying the second item from these names, which is actually Rameses. Now if I try to run this or execute this, then I would get a Rameses here. And on the same lines, I can have a list within another list. So let us try to have an embedded list here. Say the embedded list is square brackets another 11, 20, 20. Now if I say 0, 1, 2, 3, let us try to use the third index here. Now if I try to say 3 here, what do I get? You can see here 11, 20, the fourth element, which is actually index is 3, whose index is 3, is displayed. So this is how the index can be used. Apart from that, of course, I can use the keywords that was specified. For example, if I say, now I'll say Ram in names, and if I try to print only this, let us try to comment this and execute this. Now I would get true here because Ram is present in the list. But on the same lines, if I say some other name, for example, let us say the name which is not there, we'll try to use Bob itself. If I say Bob, then it would be a false value. Now this is how its presence of an item is indicated with a true, if absence of an item is indicated with a false. Now on the other hand, if I want to use the negative index, let us see if I say names of minus 1, then this is similar to, this is same as the last item, that is last item is displayed -1, or it is same as 0, 1, 2, 3. So let us try to execute this and see. Now you get the last item, which is the another list here. Now if I say -2, I would get Ramesh there. That is, it is going on from the reverse order. So negative index is not an error here. What is an error? For example, if I try to access an element which is not there in the list, 0, 1, 2, 3, if I say 4 and if I say run this, then I would get an index, list index out of range. Or for that matter, if I say -3 is not a problem because Ramesses is present, but if I say -5 is not there, then I would get a list index out of range. So this is how you can make use of list to perform different operations. By either you can make use of access the elements by using this indexing, or for that matter even you can change the value, that is it is mutable, as I was saying earlier. You can try to change the value of this list. For example, if I say numbers of bracket 1 equals some value which is, let us say, 1955, and now if I try to print this, now what I have done is numbers equal 2 comma 1941, but I am saying 0, that is first 0 comma 1, that is 0 comma 1, so 1 is the second element. Numbers of 1 equals 1955. So if I try to print the numbers list here, then I would get 2 comma 1955, that is it has overwritten the second element. So this is how you can mutate the list. That is the meaning of mutable. List is mutable. Another example for you, if I say names of 3, now 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, this is another list, and I want to change the complete list here, then I can say names of 3 equal 12 comma 1955. Now if I run this, and I would get the new list with a new list modified here or overwritten as 12 comma 1955. So this is how you can make use of list to access the elements, or even you can make use to display the different values, values using index. Now let us try to see how we can traverse a list, or we can go through each and every element of the list. Again, this was discussed in one of the previous lectures, but anyhow we'll go through it again. The most common way to traverse the elements of a list is with a for loop. The syntax is same as for strings. For example, if I have the list as names equal to Ram, Ramesh and Ramesh, I can say for name in names. Name is a variable, any variable x, y, I, where, whatever it may be. In this list names, I can print this where or the name, and it will try to traverse the list. That is, it will take the first value as Ram, then it will take the next value as Ramesh, and then it will take the next value, subsequent value of Ramesh. So we'll go to the editor and see how we can traverse this list. So I would say for, let us take this as where in the list name is names colon, and I would just print the where, and let us traverse the list using this mechanism for loop. Now when I run this, I would get, what is that I got here is Ram, Ramesh, Ramesh and 11 comma 2020 on each of this lines separately. Well, I can print them in a single line. The one of the logic that was shown to you was concatenating the values in a string, but there is another way of doing the same thing. You can just say comma and equals single quotes, and then if you run this, you will get everything on a single line. That is, run this, I would get everything on a single line, of course without space. Then what you can do is you can just add one space here, just say comma, and then run it again. Then you would see that you will get everything on a single line. So this is how you can make use of for loop to traverse a list. So let us go back to the slide here. Then of course similarly I can have any other things like, for example, numbers. Now for I in range, now if I want to go through these numbers, I can use their length. For example, if I have length of numbers, len is the inbuilt function, I can say len on numbers, then I can get the length of this. So here the total numbers are 2, so I would get 2 here, and numbers of I equals numbers of I into 2. So what I'm trying to do, some operation wherein I'm taking the value of I from 0 to 0 1, not up to 2. Minus 2 minus 1 is 1, so 0 1. So it will try to change the value of this and this by multiplying the existing value with 2. So let us try to incorporate this again in the code. I would call this as for var in range of length of, let us say, numbers. And you know how range works. Range works with one value less. So if the length is 2, it will go only up to 0 1, and then I will try to do what, the operation numbers of var equals numbers of var into 2. Now what I have done is numbers of var equals numbers of var into 2, but I am outside the loop. Will try to print the values and see what happens to the number, whether it is modified by multiplying the 2. Now if I run this, it will try to multiply the 2, that is 22 into 2 is 44, then 1941 into 2 is 38882. So this is how you can even traverse the list by using different mechanisms. This is using numbers and range, and of course the elements can be modified. So this is the explanation which is given here. Apart from that, you can have an empty list, that is for x in empty. If you have a list with empty, as we had given earlier, then this never happens, but this is a valid, there is no error in this. So you can even make use of this mechanism. And lastly, in this session, if I have another list in it which you have already seen, then I can get the length of the LST is 4, because 0 1 2 3 is nothing but the one element less, so that is 4. So you get the length of this as 4, and subsequently if I say LST of 0 1 2, only this, then I would get 3, because the length of the nested list is 0 1 2. There is nothing but the 3 elements, that would be 3 here. So with this note, let us end this session here, and then we'll continue further with the further operations which are involved with the list. I hope you understood this. You can practice this more so that you can get more hands-on experience on the Python related code. So have a good day. Thank you and safe day.